Hello and welcome to Multiversatile. My name is Jake Long, and today I'm going to share my ideas for a Deadpool 3 movie based on rumors and reports that we've heard so far. I hope you enjoy. We last saw Deadpool in Deadpool 2, and that's where our story picks up with Deadpool running across the timeline, causing mayhem. He's killing all sorts of bad guys, maybe some good guys, and possibly everything in between. I would imagine he soon takes a break from the killing because he feels lonely. So, naturally, he goes and finds his pal Wolverine. Now, since Deadpool was able to arrive in the Wolverine Origins movie and kill that Deadpool, it's very likely that his time machine can take him to whatever time or timeline he wants to go to. So we can potentially end up with whatever Wolverine the story needs. For now, my take will be that he scoops him up in the very first X-Men movie ever made. This is where Logan was a drifter making money from cage fights. Wolverine discovers that Rogue is in his trailer, and while they are arguing, Deadpool considers snatching him away, but Logan notices him. Deadpool tries to convince him to leave by lying and saying that things are going to be bleak in his life for a while, and he can go around the timeline killing bad franchises with Deadpool. When Logan refuses the offer, Deadpool decides to ask for a ride instead. He offers chimichangas to sway Logan's decision. The scene from X-Men takes place, only this time Deadpool is there, driving along in the camper truck in between Logan and Rogue. Deadpool is trying to think of what happens next when Sabretooth knocks a tree down, causing Logan to crash. Deadpool watches Logan get tossed in the air. Deadpool moves to attack Sabretooth but gets caught in Cyclops' blast. Meanwhile, in another timeline, He Who Remains has a secret base that has just been discovered by another Kang. It will be minutes, maybe even seconds, before the invaders break through. Not everything is ready, but He Who Remains decides there is no other option and transports him and the remainder of his team into the quantum realm, where more of the team are waiting. An advisor shows up and tells him that not everything is ready. He Who Remains informs him that they need to organize the timelines quickly because Kang could potentially trace him there. He shouts out to Ravonna and Mobius and asks them for an update. They show him they have made a lot of progress, but someone is creating timelines faster than they can clean them up. Back in what was the first X-Men movie, Deadpool and Logan wake up in the basement of the mansion and Professor X speaks to them telepathically, leading them upstairs. After some confusion, they make it into Xavier's office. Deadpool agrees to stay there, but Professor X can tell that he is lying and he is planning on sneaking away. Professor X says it's okay, they are free to go. Deadpool accuses him of reading his mind, but Professor X assures him that Deadpool is just a bad liar. Deadpool then tries to convince Logan to join him on his quest again and take up the name Wolverine. Logan just wants to know who he is. Deadpool tells him that he won't tell Logan who he is because he'll show him using time travel. He also points out that he didn't have a lot going for him back in the cold mountains of Canada. Deadpool explains that he was supposed to get Logan out of there before he got too attached. Logan worries about Rogue and who these X-Men are, but Deadpool assures him that she'll be fine. Unfortunately, Logan starts talking to Jean, so Deadpool tries his luck with the X-Men and whispers they'll probably be better off without Logan, since Magneto can toss him around like a voodoo doll anyway. But he doesn't want to say that to Logan because he wants to keep his confidence up. Deadpool turns back to see Logan scowling at him, having obviously heard what he said. Deadpool exclaims, "It looks like I forgot about his super hearing. It's amazing what one whisper from the mouth can do." Deadpool then tells Professor X to search his mind, and Xavier can tell that with time travel and what he knows, Deadpool can provide the answers that Logan is looking for. Deadpool thanks them and asks them for another favor. It is then that he reveals that although his time machine will take him to any time that he wants, it will not take him to any place. Something must have happened when Negasonic Teenage Warhead and Yu-Gi-Oh! Fixed it. So, in order to get around faster, Deadpool would like to rig Wolverine's camper truck up to be what he refers to as the white trash time machine, so they can get around faster. He asks for Beast's help, but he's not there, so Xavier and Jean give Beast a call and they all figure it out together. As they say goodbye, Deadpool says, "You know what, since you'll be missing a grumpy companion," referring to Wolverine of course, Deadpool teleports away and teleports back with Cable tied up and yelling for his time machine to be returned. Cable breaks free and shoots at Deadpool, but accidentally hits Logan, knocking him out. Cable shoots again, but Deadpool deflects the shot and sends it back at Cable, who gets knocked out. Deadpool heaves Logan into the truck, and as they drive away, Deadpool shouts, "Scott and Jean can thank me for the family pre-union later." The truck disappears in a flash as it reaches the end of the driveway. A grumpy, confused Logan wakes up in the new version of the blue and yellow costume. Deadpool tells him you're welcome for not giving him the underwear over the pants version, and Wolverine attacks him for waking up in a strange place with a strange man who apparently just dressed him. They have an epic and hilarious fight that ends in a draw because they both keep regenerating. Deadpool takes Wolverine to the bar from his other two movies so they can get a drink, have a smoke, and talk it over. The bartender friend, Weasel, is there, and if they need to recast the character, I think Rob McElhenney would be a fun choice. This way we get to see Ryan and Rob in a movie together, and Deadpool can make a joke about recasting, referencing the Hulk, War Machine, or whoever. Seeing TJ Miller back in the role would also be a fun option. Weasel then convinces Logan to become Wolverine and go with Deadpool on this quest. Mobius and Ravonna show up right after they leave. Deadpool then takes Wolverine to Stryker, and they kill him even though Wolverine doesn't remember him. Deadpool takes him to his childhood home, which is a mansion, and Deadpool teases him for not being able to enjoy the spoils of being a rich kid. Here we can introduce a character named Dog, who is Wolverine's half-brother, not Sabretooth, in the comics. He's a time traveler, so he can stalk them through time. Wolverine and Deadpool go and kill Ajax. Deadpool wonders why he didn't do that before. At the facility, Dog saves Slayback, a mercenary that Deadpool thought that he killed about a year before he was recruited to the facility. Deadpool and Wolverine then go on a quest to kill all of the other Deadpools because Deadpool wants to see if the plotline from Jet Li's movie The One is true and if he will really get stronger with every Deadpool variant that he kills. After discovering that he can't really kill any of the Deadpools, he switches things up and destroys some franchises. Meanwhile, in another timeline, the Fantastic Four from the 2000s movies are fighting a Kang variant in a year that will later be determined. Deadpool and Wolverine show up just in time to see all of the team members killed, except for Human Torch, played of course by Chris Evans. Deadpool and Wolverine manage to save the Human Torch even though they were originally going to kill all of them. A Thanos variant then shows up and fights Kang. Deadpool mentions that Thanos looks very familiar. They manage to kill Kang, but Thanos turns on them. During their battle, Wolverine claws Thanos across the face. Another Kang shows up and breaks Thanos' time travel machine and sends Thanos on a one-way trip back to wherever he came from. He invites the good guys to join him or die. They defeat a large chunk of his army and he retreats. Human Torch then takes them to a safe location where he explains that there is a multiversal war going on. He explains that Kang is at the center of it. Deadpool points out that the first Kang died and the second one retreated, so how bad can they be? Human Torch then explains that there are potentially endless versions of Kang, and some of them are more powerful than others. He also explains that Thanos played a big part in defeating the first Kang that they fought, and now he is gone, so they need to get him back. Deadpool and Wolverine think that's crazy since he turned on them, but they decide to join in on the battle. That's when Dog and Slayback show up. With 3 versus 2, they start to lose. The TVA shows up and arrests the good guys while the 2 baddies get away. Deadpool, Wolverine, and the Human Torch are processed in the TVA, while Mobius and Ravonna explain to the group all of the trouble that they have been causing for them. Deadpool lets it slip that Human Torch didn't do it. Wolverine vouches for him as well. Human Torch thanks them, but the TVA prunes him, leaving Deadpool and Wolverine feeling guilty. The TVA asks Deadpool to list all of the changes that he made and where he went. He's on to them, so he says that he won't tell them where he went, but he'll go back and fix everything with Wolverine. The TVA reluctantly agrees to the terms, and Deadpool, Wolverine, and Mobius head out in their white trash time machine to fix the timeline. Eventually, it is discovered that Deadpool ended up creating the MCU, which is a great timeline as far as He Who Remains is concerned, so they stop him from destroying it. However, they also discovered that he created the first timeline that resulted in the first evil Kang, who began time traveling. He Who Remains still decides to allow Deadpool to join the MCU since the Deadpool of that timeline is gone. They will, however, monitor the MCU to make sure Deadpool doesn't mess it up. Eventually, Slayback and Dog track them down again, and they make things difficult for fixing the timeline. If you have anything you'd like to add, things you'd like to change, please feel free to comment below. And if you have knowledge of a better Deadpool villain to include in the movie, please comment below. I don't know a lot about Slayback, but from what I've read, he's some sort of zombie cyborg who really doesn't like Deadpool. All things accounted for, this may work better as a Disney Plus What If special. Regardless, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more similar content, like if you like it, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.